Hello everyone, welcome to Delights English Literature and Rhetorics. Here I am to explain this critical appreciation of Fra Lippi written by it's a poem written by Robert Browning, and he is a Victorian poet. He's a Victorian poet. Um, okay, let's switch on to this critical appreciation. And sorry for delay. Actually, a subscriber asked me to upload this video, and let us listen to this video. Robert Browning, he was an English poet. His birth date and death date is 7th May 1812 to 12th December 1889, and he is a poet and dramatist. He is a poet and playwright whose dramatic monologues, his poems were in the form of dramatic monologues, like in the form of one man speaking. He is one of the man among the Victorian poets, as I already told. He is noted for his irony, characterization, dark humor, and social commentary, historical settings, and challenging vocabulary and syntax. His long poems were Pauline, Paracelsus, um, and Sordello. In Sordello, we know that he has written that poem in a different style apart from Shelleyan forms. At first, he used Chilean forms. After that, he used his personal style to write Swordillo poem. And his Dramatis Personae is a long epic poem. And the Ringandi book is the one poem which made him a leading poet. And he remained prolific, but his reputation today rests mainly on his middle period. And by his death, 1889, he was seen as a sage and philosopher. Actually, he married Elizabeth Barrett, the only woman. His marriage life was so good, and after her death, he didn't marry anyone. He remained loyal to her, and societies for studying his works survived in Britain and the US into the 20th century. All the works written by him, it survived in Britain and also in the US in the 20th century because students will come and explore all his works. Um, and coming to the critical appreciation of this poem, actually, this poem, we know that there is a situation comes in this poem uh, regarding the monk. The description of the sensuality of monk given here is to understand the situation what the poet wants to depict in the poem. But it is not meant to hurt someone. It is not meant to hurt, not hurt, but it is not meant to hurt someone's moral susceptibility. It is not to love, or it is not to cherish someone's moral susceptibility. This poem was written in Florence in 1853. Robert Browning's Fra Lippi draws every reader's attention to the life and thinking of the eponymous speaker, a painter and monk belonging to the period of Italian Renaissance. A speaker, uh, a painter, and a monk. His poem gives a detailed explanation of eponymous speaker, painter, and a monk belonging to the period of Italian Renaissance. And the poem makes a psychological analysis of Lippo's character. Lippo is the monk. Uh, he is a man. Lippo is a brother. Um, is a man and an artist. He underscores the systematic nature of the Renaissance art and makes a recent plea for artistic naturalism. So Lippo, he is the one who undergoes the nature of the Renaissance and the artistic naturalism. In the review of the poem, George Eliot observed, "We would rather have Fra Lippi than any essay on realism in art." So George Eliot is saying that we can rather have Fra Lippi than any essay on realism in art. Uh, Simply, he is saying that he can have Fra Lippi better. Fra Lippi is very better than any essay on realism in art. So realism in art is occupied in Fra Lippi's poem. So you can write you can write this thing, like you can put a heading, realism in art occurs in Fra Lippo Lippi, written by Robert Browning. Likewise, you can put write subheadings on your essay, and you can write this critical appreciation. Browning, the poet, has taken liberties. He has taken freedom with Vasari's account and modified it to suit his dramatic and didactic need. Actually, Vasari is the one who came into uh, uh, Browning's life. He was the one who came into Browning's life. Um, Nowadays we are having friends, right? So he also knew Vasari, and he modified his poem into the dramatic monologue. And Browning's dramatic monologues always begin in medias res, and Fra Lippo Lippi is not an exception. Uh, every poem, every poem of Browning, it will start with with the one man speaking. He is famous for his dramatic monologue structure. Dramatic monologue literary device he used. And as monologue opens, we find Lippo has caught in an embarrassing situation. It's a difficult situation. It is past midnight, and the painter monk is apprehended by the watch in the wrong quarters of the town where sportive ladies leave their doors ajar. So, sportive ladies leave their doors ajar means the prostitution was revealed by uh, revealed by Robert Browning. Lippo's residence, the Carmine and Street of Ill Fame, symbolize the two poles of his personality. So, the Carmine and the Street of Ill Fame. So, these places represents two poles of his personality, Lippo's personality, and the spiritual and the sensuous. Um, Two poles of his personality. The two personalities are the spiritual and the sensual. So you can put a heading for this paragraph as the spiritual and the sensuous, two poles of personality. You can underline in black, and it will be very nice. Throughout the poem, he is trying to weigh and balance the contrary pulls of the reality and goodness of the flesh and blood. So he contrarily pulling out the reality and goodness of the flesh and blood. From the very beginning of the poem, Fra Lippo, the interlocutor, tries to convince the police officer about the serious issues of life and art. So Lippo, he is convincing the police officer about life and art. Through trapped in an awkward situation, Lippo does not lose his self-command and sense of humor. Even in the awkward situation, Lippo didn't lose his sense of humor. He can't intimidate the policeman by dropping the name of his patron, Cosimo of the Medici, the ruler of Florence. So he didn't give up the name of the patron, Cosimo of the Medici. Cosimo of the Medici is where Brother Lippo belongs to, the country. Sorry, not the country, but the place where he lived, and the place where he did service for God in the convent. So Cosimo of the Medici is a place which was represented in the poem by Lippo. Which was represented by Robert Browning as a residence of Brother Lippo. And earlier in the poem, the down-to-earth attitude of Lippo is reflected in its diction, which is by and large colloquial. As the monologue develops and Lippo gets warmed up, his language becomes dignified, embellished with learned vocabulary. As the monologue is getting developed, Lippo is warming himself up, and his language becomes most worthy. It's so respectable, and it is full of meaningful words. Being failed to intimidate the policeman, he decides to show his artistry with a shape observant eye, quick to recognize and register in his mind, because that could later serve as the drawing stuff. I hope that you you would have understand this stanza. If any queries, please comment on the comment section. The friar then justifies his conduct, which is a characteristic feature of Browning's dramatic monologue. So, this friar, he justifies, he reasons his conduct. His conduct means the life that is going on, uh, that he is living, he is justifying it, which is a characteristic feature of the friar is also a characteristic feature of Browning's dramatic monologue. Lippo explains the circumstances that landed him in the present situation. So he explains the situation. He was kept confined within the cell 3 weeks, painting saints and saints and saints again. So always painting all the weeks, he's explaining the situations, what all happened. As he leaned out of his window, he saw three slim-shaped girls singing and tittering, um, like the skipping of rabbits by moonlight. The three girls are depicted as the rabbits skipping in the shade of moonlight. He made a rope ladder and climbed onto the street to follow them. It was hard by St. Lawrence. So he made a rope ladder. Who made a rope ladder? Um Lippo. Lippo made a rope ladder and climbed on the street to follow them. Those three girls. It was hard by St. Lawrence, and he had to return to his cloister before dawn to resume his painting, but he is arrested now. He also expresses not only his but also others' sensuality and immorality. The prior keeps mistress but shows her as his niece. Thus, he shows the priors laboring under the contrary pull of paganism and Christianity, sensuality and sacredness. So, from this, we are learning that. Hmm, So from this we are learning that sorry, actually I made a mistake. As he leaned out of his window, he saw three slim-shaped girls singing and tittering like the skipping of rabbits by moonlight. So mm, he made a rope ladder and climbed onto the street to follow them. So the friar, not Lippo, uh, Lippo doesn't follow, but Friar follows. And it was heard by Saint Lawrence, and he had to return to his cloister before dawn to resume his painting. So, uh, but he couldn't follow, so he returned to resume his painting. He was doing his painting at the time he resumed it and he went and followed, but he couldn't follow it, so he returned again. But he is arrested now. He also expresses not only his but also the sensuality and immorality. So from this we can know that the prayers are working under the contrary poles of paganism, Christianity, sensuality and sacredness. Actually they are devoted to Christianity, so they should not go to any other um, pleasurable things or to the worldly things. So we can put a heading for this stanza as pleasurable things, not to the pleasurable things, like that we can underline, we can show a heading, we can highlight the heading in the essay. Browning makes it abundantly clear that Lippo became a monk under the compulsion of circumstances rather than from his own will and inclination. He was an orphan at the age of 8. His aunt puts him in a convent where he gets all necessary sustenance. He paints what he sees, and his conviction is that a fine way to paint soul by painting body. However, his painting shocks the moral susceptibility of the old grave eyes of the prior who wants Lippo should paint the soul, not the perishable clay. He also advises Lippo to follow the more inspiring examples of Pietro, Lorenzo Monaco, and Fra Angelico, the masters of religious paintings. But as a worshipper of art, he insists truthfulness of painting. I am my own master, paint now as I please. The prior's conventional belief of art adds a satirical dimension, which is one of the characteristics of Browning's dramatic love thought by many critics. So for this stanza, we can highlight a heading as um, Lippo became a monk. So the compulsion of his circumstances we can understand from this stanza. And some critics also believe that the theme of love and love interest in its multi-dimensional manifestation plays an important role in Browning's dramatic monologue. Though the poem hardly uses any love episodes, it is the painter's love for life and its simple beauty which shines out in the poem. Really, it's amazing. Fra Lippi enforces the only significant word from Latin which he could learn by heart and regarded as the philosophy of life is amo I love. He loves painting the most. Moreover, Fra Lippi utters the most profound archetypal truth of life. So he himself explains the most profound and archetypal truth of life. Take away love and under art is a tone. So he says that art is a tone. He also says that he allowed his childhood love interest named Lisa to walk away from his life due to his religious vocation. For his religious vocation, he did many things. Um, he will not give up the religious aspects. He will not give up the religious aspects. I let Lisa go, and what good in life since? So he let out Lisa to go away from his life to gain more spiritual uh, circumstances in his life. Through the poem, Fra Lippo faces the tug of war between so-called spiritual life and sensuous secular life, between basic sustenance and liberty. Whereas Tennyson spoke indirectly through classical myth and literary legend, Browning speakers or they seems Browning speakers they seem so historical. We thus experience why we read this poem, a disequilibrium between sympathy and judgment, which keeps us constantly aware of Lippo's complex yet credible personality. So, in this poem, we can feel a disequilibrium. There is a there is not a balance. There is not a balance between sympathy and judgment. So, uh, Lippo's character is a different personality. So this is the critical appreciation of this poem. And if you need any queries, just comment on the comment section. And if you need any essay, if you need any poem, also you just tell me to upload a video. And thank you one and all. Thank you for the patience. You are listening this critical appreciation. Thank you.